Half Man Half Biscuit are an English rock band from Birkenhead, Merseyside, active since the mid-1980s, known for satirical, sardonic, and sometimes surreal songs. The group currently comprises Nigel Blackwell, Neil Crossley, Ken Hancock, and Carl Henry. Throughout their career they have been signed to Pro Plus Records. History: Half Man Half Biscuit were formed by two friends from Birkenhead, Neil Crossley and singer, guitarist and songwriter Nigel Blackwell, who was at the time still robbing cars and playing football like normal people do. In 1979 Blackwell was editing a football fanzine. He met Crossley when he went to see the latter's band play. In 1984, when Half Man Half Biscuit were formed, Crossley moved to bass and the two were joined by Nigel's brother Simon Blackwell and his friend Paul Wright, both previously with a group called Attempted Moustache. The quartet started to rehearse in the Liverpool-based Vulcan Studios, where they soon turned a five-piece, with David Lloyd now on keyboards. Their debut album, 1985's Back in the DHSS, topped the UK indie chart and reached number 60 in the UK album chart. Its title was a play on the Beatles' Back in the USSR, and also a reference to the DHSS, the government department that dealt with the unemployed, Nigel Blackwell having been on unemployment benefits since 1979. The band's first single, The Trumpton Riots, topped the British Independent chart in 1986, and they went on to perform at Glastonbury Festival. They were post-punk, similar to Joseph K. or The Four. The second single, Dickie Davis Eyes, also topped the indie chart. In late 1986, the band split up, with a collection of radio sessions and unreleased tracks following. The band reformed in 1990, with a performance at the Reading Festival following, and a new single, Let's Not, issued before the year was out, followed in 1991 by a collaboration with Margie Clark on a version of Edith Piaf's No Regrets. The third album was McIntyre, Treadmore on David, released in October 1991. By the time This Leaden Pal was released in 1993, Wright and Lloyd had left the band, with Carl Alty joining on drums. Simon Blackwell left the following year, with Ian S. Jackson joining. Jackson and Alty departed in 1996, to be replaced by Ken Hancock and Carl Henry, this lineup remaining to this day. Since reforming, the band have produced an album every 2 or 3 years. Half Man Half Biscuit were championed by DJ John Peel, for whom they recorded 12 sessions, and it was on his program in 1990 that the band announced their return. References to Half Man Half Biscuit can be found on episodes of Brookside, Hollyoaks and Byker Grove, as well as an episode of Football Focus and the BBC serial Elida. The band played live more infrequently. Half Man Half Biscuit turned down the chance to appear on the Tube, as Tranmere Rovers were playing that night, even though Channel 4 offered to fly them by helicopter to the game. The band's styles parody popular genres, while their lyrics allude to UK popular culture and geography and British or international football. Sylvia Plath, Thomas Hardy, and the Bible are referenced in his lyrics. As the 1990s progressed, Blackwell's love of blues and folk became more apparent. In 2002, Andy Kershaw dubbed them the most authentic English folk group since The Clash. Bassist Crossley's tastes include late 1970s and early 1980s new wave or post-punk bands, and during live sets HMHB have performed covers of acts as diverse as Joy Division, Magazine, Tim Buckley, The Beach Boys, Tommy James and the Shondells and Ike and Tina Turner. Blackwell has also referred to fictional bands who appear on the sleeves of HMHB records and in songs. An essay on Evil Gazebo appears on the liner of Trouble Over Bridgewater and both brands are mentioned in one of that album's songs. Assorted fake acts have also been mentioned in HMHB songs such as the fictional Focus tribute band I Can't Believe It's Not Focus. In 2001, Blackwell provided the voiceover for a BP television advert. The band's first release since 2005, CSI, Ambleside, appeared on April 28, 2008. In Guarantee interview in 2009, answering the occupation question, Blackwell said, "Monorail operator at Chester Zoo." The band recorded a radio session for Mark Riley's Six Music show in August 2010. Performing 4 new songs. Tommy Walsh's Eco House, RSVP, Left Lyrics in Practice Room, and Len for Kiss Les Autres. All 4 were included on the album 90 Bisodol, which was released in September 2011. In September 2014 the band announced a new album, entitled Urge for Offal, to be released the following month. Joy Division Oven Gloves. In April 2010, the band's song Joy Division Oven Gloves from their 2005 album Actung Bono was the subject of a Facebook campaign to get it to no. 6 on the chart for April 12, 2010, in response to the rumoured closure of the indie supporting radio station BBC Six Music. The song reached no. 56 on April 11, 2010. This was their first ever UK Top 75 chart appearance. It also reached no. 3 in the official independent singles chart the same week, and was no. 1 in the HMV UK Digital Downloads Top 40 tracks on Friday 16 April, knocking Ultravox's song Vienna off the top spot, itself part of a separate Facebook campaign the previous week. Reception. Andy Kershaw has described Half Man Half Biscuit as England's greatest folk band, and the most authentic British folk band since The Clash, and John Peel called them a national treasure. James Dodd Dolito praised Blackwell's uncanny way of chronicling 2 of his greatest passions in life, television and small-town England. Eliza Carthy praised the band for their pathos disguised with wit and sarcasm, describing Blackwell as a genius. Discography, studio albums, extended plays, singles, charting album tracks, miscellaneous tracks, David Wainwright's feat. On the charity album Colours Are Brighter, references. External links, the longest established HMHB fan site, the Half Man Half Biscuit Lyrics Project, Half Man Half Biscuit at the BBC, Spike Magazine's review of 2005 album Actung Bono, 2001 Guardian interview with Nigel Blackwell, Half Man Half Biscuit tracks on YouTube.